Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the American Athletic Champions, University of Cincinnati Bearcats. Now this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. YouTube, you guys are doing awesome. Make sure you found the show, hit that thumbs up, smash that like and subscribe button. I got 10 subscribers from yesterday's show to today's show. I'm up to 774 subscribers. That is awesome. So as always, make sure you go to the channel, see the word subscribe. It's red. Make sure it changes color. Hit the bell for notifications. And every time I go live, like I did after the amazing Bengals win last night, you guys will be notified. Other than that, I'm usually on at 5:30, but sometimes something happens and I go live. Like last night, the Bengals had an unbelievable dramatic win against the Squealers. The Bengals were 14.5-point underdogs. 14.5-point underdogs. They won 27-14. Unbelievable. According to ESPN's Jameson Hemsley, whoever that is, it was the second biggest Monday Night Football upset in Monday Night Football history. According to Elias Sports, the Bengals were the third team with 10-plus losses to take down a team with 10-plus wins. I mean, this is a huge upset. I cannot believe the Bengals pulled this off. I mean, like I said, if you watched the show after the game last night, I wasn't even watching the game. I didn't think we were going to win. I thought we were going to get stomped. I had to be at work at 1 o'clock in the morning. I started watching a little bit of it, fell asleep. My son gets home from work and says, Dad, wakes me up. Dad. What? Why aren't you watching the game? I said, because I'm sleeping. I got to go to work. He goes, the Bengals are winning. I'm like, get out of here. He's like, no, I'm serious. The Bengals are winning. So I was like, all right. So we jumped on the show turned the TV on, finished watching it. And then my son talked me into, along with Jeremy D, to go live after the game, which I'm glad I did. We got 140 something views on the channel for last night's game. So that was awesome. Now, got a couple things. I've said this before about Zac Taylor, and I'm not trying to be a Zac Taylor apologist. 5 wins now in 2 years. It doesn't cut it. Probably should be fired. I think he just saved his job last night. But Zac Taylor coached his ass off last night to do the RPOs and the run play options that for some reason the Steelers were not expecting was great. I mean, the Bengals played a perfect game. Josh Bynes, I got so irritated with him so many times this year. He'd jump in the backfield and miss the tackle. He did it last night a lot of times. But getting back to Zac, it's one of his best coaching jobs ever. We got pressure on the quarterback. We played defense. We scored enough. That was the most points we scored in like 3 games. I mean, it was just an unbelievable performance by Zac Taylor and the Bengals. And I'm just excited. Like I said, I think Zac Taylor saved his job. Now, Mike Brown has done this in the past where the Bengals did in the 90s would always win the last 2 games or whatever the year and save the coach's job. And that never worked. Now, the last time it worked, if you guys don't remember, Carson Palmer wasn't coming back. He said he's going to retire, or unless they traded him. And Mike Brown and Marvin Lewis had this god-awful press conference where it was just uncomfortable. Neither one wanted to be there. You know, Marvin was coming back. Everybody thought Marvin should go. Carson was leaving. They had Terrell Owens that year. So Marvin stayed. They drafted Andy Dalton. They drafted A.J. Green and won a five-year playoff run. No, we didn't win any playoff games, but it worked last time. That time. Now, the last time is 2017 when we had a terrible year. Marvin probably should have been fired then. We won the last 2 games, 2 out of 3 games out of the year, saved Marvin's job, and 2019 was a terrible year. I'm hoping for what happened when we went on the 5-year playoff run. There's a lot of talent on this team, as Jeremy D has said. The Bengals can win. The offensive line played pretty good last night, and I really do think we have our guards set. I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea to always add, But Sewell, or Serafili and Sewell, or not Sewell, Spain have played awesome. And if you watch last night, where'd they run the ball? And I always say Gio's not very good at doing this, but he did it last night. They ran the ball behind Hopkins, Spain, and Sewell right up the middle. And they got yardage. Now, if the Bengals are able to get Sewell and say, hopefully, I still think they need to sign or draft another guard just to create competition or something like that. But just say, worst case, they don't. And you have Sewell at left tackle, Jordan Williams at right, Hopkins, Spain, and Serafili in the middle. That's not a bad combination. So, anyway, we got a lot to discuss today. I'm bringing in my boy, Jeremy D. Hang on a second. Let me unmute you. What's up there, Jeremy?
What is up, brother?
So, I got a question for you. Show of hands, even in the chat. Who had the Bengals and the Jets on the money line this past weekend? I'm just curious because if you did, you made a lot of money.
Yeah, no joke. That, I watched the whole game because as we had mentioned in the show before the game, this is the type of game the Cincinnati Bengals would actually come together. All that talent we could see, and I know I brought this up in the past, but you could tell we had more talent than a lot of these other teams have. And to see that all put together on defense was something beautiful. To know that we have free agents that we got last year that are still on the bench, Reeder, Trey Waynes, and these guys played like they did last night. I mean, it's about time we finally clicked. Now, the Zac Taylor thing, I'll just let the Bengals figure that out. But
I'm not saying he should keep his job. I'm just going by past history and what Mike Brown has done.
That's where I was really kind of getting at. And so it doesn't matter, whatever. But I can tell you one good game against one good team. Awesome win.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I lost my voice last night, man. I was stoked.
I was going nuts. Me and my son hugged last night.
Give me a hug.
Oh, come here, my boy. Come here.
Come here, buddy. No, it was awesome, man. And it was good to see because the talent's there. It's been there.
Yeah.
It's not been connected.
The funny thing is, if you're on Twitter or anything like that, and you follow all the Bengals players that are on IR, all of them were blowing up Twitter last night. All of them. So, I mean, and that's a good thing because they should be cheering their team on and everything. But to me, I look at it as I still think they're all in this together. I still think for the majority of the team that they are behind Zac Taylor. I really do. I mean, call me, I don't know. I just think it's different. I can't explain what it is, but it's just a feeling I have, that they are in this with him. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at this stuff. I don't know.
I can tell you right now with, Ryan Stickfigure Finley, Zac Taylor, like you were saying, had one of his best coaching days in 2 years.
Last
night.
It might be his best coaching ever. Ever.
Yeah. And the RPO worked great. Giovanni was getting in holes rather than getting an arm swung at him. Yes. And rather than a defensive lineman being able to just swing an arm at him, which normally will knock Gio down, he was able to actually find those creases and hit that gap and go. And our running game behind Hopkins, Spain, and Teofilo.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into this. We got a couple guys that want to jump on the video chats here, so let's bring them. I'll bring you guys in one at a time. First one in was Keith. Keith, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, Keith?
Hey, how you guys doing? Good. How you doing? On the video chats here, so let's bring them. I'll bring you guys in one at a time. First one in was Keith. You got to turn the volume down. We're getting feedback.
Hey,
to what?
On the video chats here, so let's bring them.
I'll bring
you guys in one at a time. First one in was Keith.
You got to turn the volume down. We're
I got a what?
You need to turn your volume down. You're getting feedback.
Oh, yeah. How's that?
Much better. There you go.
There you go, brother.
Better?
Yep, much better.
Good deal.
Okay. All I want to say, I don't want to rain on the parade, okay?
Yeah.
I was glad for the win last night.
Right.
But I've said this all year long. You know this. Pittsburgh is the worst 11-0 team I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
By all right, I watched them 3 weeks in a row get games handed to them. Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you guys. Something that drives me nuts. I'm sick of the announcers making excuses for them.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anybody whining when Baltimore got the game taken from them when they had 23 guys out with COVID and they're playing Robert Griffin. We got a third string quarterback playing last night. Nobody's crying tears for us. NFL grown man's game, nut up.
Yeah, it was annoying last night because they changed the Monday Night Booth so much. I can't remember the guy's name, but the last play that Phillips made, or he deflected the pass, they're like, oh, this is pass interference. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what about the one in the end zone where they gave Pittsburgh a touchdown, which they called pass interference, and it wasn't. That was ridiculous.
Like, oh, this is pass interference. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what about the
you gotta turn your volume down, man.
Touchdown? They called pass interference.
Still getting feedback, brother.
That was ridiculous. Like, oh, this is
Okay. Well, hopefully he'll figure out what we said and then he can come back. Keith,
Yeah,
we're getting you got to get earbuds in or something. Yeah, we're getting our voices back in there. Oh, Natural, I was just about to go to you, and Natural left.
Oh, Natural jumped off.
Yeah, I was just about to go to Natural, and he jumped off. So, anyway, you guys got to be patient. I'll get to you.
He did have a good point, though. Keith did,
Yeah.
They are a horrible, well, not horrible, but they are the worst 11-2, 11-3 now. I'm thinking, right? Yeah. Team probably out there, but at the end of the day, they still are 11-3. But like I said, I'm not forgetting last year and all of this year over one game.
I'm not saying that Zach should keep his job. I'm just saying Mike Brown probably will after this, is all I'm saying.
Good chance.
Natty, what's up? We got one of our P1 viewers. What's up, man?
What's up, Natty?
How's it going, guys?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Good win, but I don't know if you put much eggs in the basket for this if I'm a Bengals fan.
Again, I'm not saying Bengals fans. I'm saying Mike Brown will.
Yeah, I know Mike Brown will, but as us fans, we gotta be very skeptical of this win because if this Cincinnati team came to play 10 weeks ago, we'd actually be playing for something, not playing for pride.
No, I agree with you. And that's what drives me nuts. It's like, well, where was this? Because they actually finished the game. And that's me and Jeremy said this a lot when we had at the beginning of the year before Joe got hurt. How many games did we have where we were in them? We just couldn't finish them. Last night, somehow they figured out how to finish them. Why that is last night and why it didn't happen all these other games, I don't know. But you could see the talent. Like Jeremy said last night, you can see the talent on this team. You can see we're not as far. We're not what our record is. I mean, we are what your record is, but talent-wise, we're better than that. And for some reason, we just have not been able to get over that hump to finish the games. Last night, they did. So, I mean, just as going through Bengals history and what Mike Brown has done, and most of the time, he doesn't fire coaches after 2 years. And now they beat our biggest rival on national TV for everybody to see. I mean, everybody, I don't know if you guys listen to national media that much, but everybody's talking about the Bengals from last night. I was a big upset. They played great, yada, yada, yada. Mike Brown's hearing all that stuff. So I think Zac Taylor saved his job last night. I really do. If he should come back next year or not, but that's just what I think, he's going to do.
Well, personally, I like I said, I'll let the Bengals figure that out. I'm kind of with Natty on this one. I loved to see that defense play the way it should be, even without DJ Reader and Trey Waynes, two mega free agents. At the same time, you could also tell the first half we came out on fire. The defense was blitzing. We were getting after Ben. He was uncomfortable. He couldn't do anything.
We actually got pressure on him, and I've said that a ton this year.
Right.
You get pressure on any quarterback, that changes the game. That changes your secondary. Changes everything. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, Jeremy.
No, you're good. You're good. I just kind of it just got to me a little bit in the second half because I saw a different I saw a conservative. I saw it kind of going back to, I put it out there last night, kind of like Marvin Lewis ball. You're up at halftime and you just kind of get conservative. Next thing you know, boom, they go right down the field and score on you. Boom, they come back, and luckily, our defense made some great plays individually, but as a unit as well, the whole game. But individually, Willie J made some great plays. Phillips made some great plays. Bell,
yes,
Bell.
The hit of the year was Von Bell. Boom, drilled him. Go dance on the logo now, Juju.
Right. Don't ever dance in the jungle, son. But I'm with Natty on that though. I'm not completely convinced of anything right now, but what I am convinced of is what I've been saying all year. You can see the talent is on the field for Cincinnati, and there's more to come next year, folks. So go ahead, Natural. What you got, man?
I was gonna say and I know Bengals fans are gonna like when I say, but do you think Zac Taylor is still growing into the role of head coach?
Growing into it? Is that what you said?
Like growing into it, yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, he is a young coach. So he's never done it before, until he got here. So yeah, he's growing into it. I do think he's getting better. I know I always sound like I'm defending him, but I am, I guess. But I still, like I said, I'll put my hand up. 5 wins now in 2 years is not good enough. And, most teams would fire him. I don't think the Bengals are going to. But I do think Zach is growing into the job and learning and figuring it out. Marvin Lewis I always bring it back to when Marvin took over. If you look at the team that Marvin took over and the team that Zach took over, Marvin had a lot of stuff already set here. He had the offensive line. He had Chad Johnson. He had TJ Houshmandzadeh. He had Corey Dillon, and he had Rudy Johnson behind him. All that was already here before he took over. And then he came in with the number 1 pick overall, and they drafted Carson Palmer. John Kitna was already here. There's a lot of stuff set when Marvin took over. When Zach took over, our defense was god-awful. The year Marvin's second to last year, percentage-wise, it was the worst defense in NFL history. All of our players were going down. They're getting older. AJ hasn't been AJ in a long time. Carlos Dunlap, despite what he's doing in Seattle, wasn't doing that here even before Zach got here. He hadn't been like he is now. The way he's playing right now is the way he played when we had a 5-year playoff run. He didn't do that the last 4 years with the Bengals. Geno Atkins hasn't been the same as he was. So there's a lot of stuff there was for Zach to fix. Again, I'm defending him, but these are the facts of how comparing the two teams that from when Marvin took over from Zach took over. So it was a little easier. And also Marvin was an older guy, been a defensive coordinator for a long time. Zach, he's quarterback coach. He's a younger guy. So yes, to answer long answer, yes, I do think that Zach is growing into the head coaching role. If that answers your question, Natural. Sorry.
That's it. That's it for me, guys. That's all I have to say right now.
Awesome. Well, one thing you can be proud of is the talent is finally showing in Cincinnati, and no matter who's our coach next year, we're going to have a good to great defense in my eyes after draft, after free agency, and we're going to protect this house, and the house being Joe freaking Burrow.
Yeah. By the way, sorry, I'm eating my Gold Star. That's just my dinner, and it's I'm a Skyline guy, but it's BOGO. Buy one get one since the Bengals won. So excuse me while I eat my dinner. But Robert, what's going on, brother?
What's up, Robert?
First off, Skyline sucks. So you went the right route with Gold Star.
Oh, Skyline. What about it?
No, Skyline has too much cinnamon in their chili.
Oh, they're delicious.
What do you think about that game last night, Robert?
Oh, that game. I'm going to go ahead and admit, on the Saturday show when we was doing the Ohio State pregame for the Bearcats, I was the first one to say we're screwed with Ryan Finley being in there.
Yeah.
I'll take my foot out of my mouth and say he did a good job last night.
Dude, all three of us thought it. Dude, that's why I didn't even want to talk about him yesterday. I'm like, we're going to get destroyed on national TV. Ryan Finley has done nothing in the 4 or 5 starts he's had. But the thing, like I said, I'll give it to Zach to change it up, do it the run play option, and you got to give it to Finley. He did make throws when he had to. I mean, they didn't rely on him to do it, but he made a couple good throws. He did it good enough to win the game. And the funny thing is, somebody said it on the show last night that, hey, he played as good as ran the ball as good as oh my goodness, I can't think of the guy's name. The quarterback for the
Lamar
Ravens.
Jackson.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson. I'm like, okay, all right, calm down a little bit. It wasn't that good. He was running in slow motion, and some of these times, like the running touchdown he had the end zone, they ran the exact same play twice. I mean, it's a different variation of it, but it's the same freaking play. And the Steelers are running this way toward the running back, and Finley's going, bye, right by him in slow motion. It's like, wait, they're running him again? Like they were completely shocked. So it's like,
yeah, and I can clearly say that next year I will not be happy if Ryan Finley is backing up whoever may be starting. If it's Burrow or if we sign a guy to Burrow can come back or whatever, he's still. I mean, the guy still barely threw over 100 yards. You're not going to win many games doing that kind of.
No. Don't get it twisted. This is a euphoric game. I think everything went right for the Bengals for once, for this to work out. As far as Finley goes.
Yeah.
Wow, I had to mute you there for a minute, Robert, because wherever you're at, it was really loud. It sounded like an airplane.
Blew me away.
Yeah. So anyway, I think they still need to get a backup quarterback. Joe Burrow will be back by the beginning of the year. I'm going to stick to that. We'll see. But what else you got, Robert?
That last night, that game pass interference call for the Squealers down at the end zone. I started yelling and
it's crap.
She gets out of bed. She's like, really? I got to work in the morning. I said, I got to be at work before you do in the morning.
I went to work with 4 hours of sleep, so top that.
I went with the amount. I didn't see that you went live last night, or I would have come on with last night. For some reason, it didn't pop up till this afternoon. I ended up watching it this afternoon.
Well, at least you got on that, man.
I was so stoked last night and go to bed. I literally, when I first turned the game on, I was like, man, I'm going to bed at halftime.
Right.
I'm like, cool. I'll get no sleep for working. Standing on a roof today with 40 wasn't too great to be doing. But I made it through it. Now I got to work side job. So
there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Robert. Well, anything else?
Last night again. I went. I like Zach, but I don't know if he's the right coach for us. I really jumped ship with Jeremy, but after last night, I think Mike Brown, like you said, will give him another year.
I mean, I wasn't completely convinced that he was going to fire him anyway before last night. So,
and don't get me wrong, Robert. Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of where Jeff talks about Mike Brown. I'm just kind of giving my own opinion on, because Mike Brown, most likely after this win, like you said, and as Jeff said, he sees a win against the Steelers and, oh my God, this is So I can definitely see Zach coming back. All I am saying, though, is if he doesn't come back, it's not going to hurt my feelings. And that's why I say, you know what? Go ahead, Katie Blackburn. Go ahead, Mike Brown. Y'all sit around and do your thing and figure out what you want to do, and I'll be happy with it because there's talent on this team. We can win.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And one more thing before I go, if I can remember what I was going to say now. Oh, yeah. All I've heard all year on the show, we need to beat the AFC North. We need to beat teams in the AFC North. From the people in the chat, on top of us saying it. Right. And then we win. I was watching the show, and we win against the Squealers, and all we hear is, "Oh, don't get your hope. We're still the Bengals." Right. I'm like, you all year long, you're like, we have to beat somebody in the AFC North.
Right.
We have to do it. We do it, and we're still getting down for it.
Yep. Right. That's Bengals fans, man.
Yeah, I know.
We beat a winner, man. We beat a winner last night, and we kept them.
No matter if they're a weak undefeated team or not, we beat them.
That's right.
And we won in prime time.
Exactly.
Right. And we kept them from winning the division against the Cincinnati Bengals last night on prime time.
Exactly. All right, Robert.
Who day?
We appreciate you, brother.
Who day? Take it easy.
You know I'm there.
All right, I gotta bring this up in the chat. This is I'd like him to explain this. Eric Griffin says Sewell is going second. I have no idea why you think he's going second. I mean, Jacksonville Jets probably will take if they don't take Fields, which I don't know why they wouldn't take Fields. I don't think they trust Darnold. I mean, Darnold's been their quarterback for 3 years? I mean, I don't see it happening. I mean, they've been wanting to get a quarterback. That's their whole thing. So, I mean, Eric comes on here and says stuff all the time that I don't agree with. He also says, Sherbert's better than Burrow and all that stuff. So I think he just says stuff on there just to stir the pot. But that's just my opinion. I'd like you to actually clarify why you think that.
Well, I got to get, he's probably read report, there are people out there and there's stuff on the internet and even ESPN's mentioned it that, he could go number 2, but the last thing I just saw, which was yesterday afternoon, and unless something has changed or whatever, the Jets plan on.
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at what he said. I'm going to the chat. He said Jacksonville takes Lawrence and the Jets take Sewell. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, the Jets need a quarterback.
It's badly. Been said, though. It's been said, and that they were going to, keep Darnold and try to give him some more protection. But as of yesterday afternoon, and unless there's been something different, the Jets came out and said that they are planning on, somebody from the Jets came out and said they're planning on moving on from Sam Darnold. So I don't see them taking an offensive tackle in a team that doesn't have a quarterback.
And they have one win. They have one win. And Darnold has not been – he's been a bust. I'm sorry. Darnold has been a bust.
Yeah.
The Jets, they're going to blow everybody out. They're going to be in complete rebuild mode. How are you going to take a kid who you drafted, with your first pick, and he's been there, this is his 4th year? Oh, you know what? We're 1-15. Darnold looked like ass, but, we're going to keep him. Yeah. And you have the second best quarterback in the draft in Fields. And you're going to pass him up? No, I don't see that happening. I mean, even as bad as the Jets are, I don't see that happening at all. But
I don't either.
I'm not saying that because I'm a Bengals fan. I just don't. This is a quarterback run league. You need a quarterback, and that's what every NFL team bases their team on, finding that quarterback. I mean, there's so many quarterbacks right now. I mean, Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota were number 1, number 2. They're not starting anymore. So
exactly.
You don't think the Jets going to move on from Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
I mean, draft another one? Come on.
Yeah, maybe come into Cincinnati to back up Burrow or to play a game or 2 or 4 or whatever if Burrow can't make it back the first game. There's been some reports out there about that. So, like you said, you're looking at these first rounders, but some of them, like Darnold, they don't work out. Luckily, we know better.
Yeah. So
thanks, Chris.
All right. I guess Crown wants us to say what? He says, guess what, guys? What? He hasn't. What's up? He hasn't said what it is yet.
Are you bringing up the poem, Crown? Is that what you're trying to do? I've got the poem, baby. You got to wait for it, though. I don't give away just this juicy for free, okay?
When do you want to do the poem? Do you want to do it at the end of the show? Or you want to kind of do it at the end? Because the thing is, we said before.
At the end of the show, man. These guys need to hang on.
Well, the thing we said before is, we could have a poem contest, and all these guys like Crown and Dallas and Landon, they all like your poems. Hey. And we said, why don't you guys write a poem and you bring it out, step the game up, see what's up.
Yeah, the ice bar is right there.
Yeah, which the ice bar is blowing up. I got 100 people in the ice bar now. So if you guys don't know what the ice bar is basically just a page for the show. It's for me and Jeremy to put our silly TikToks or whatever we're doing during the day or whatever on there's topics potential for the show, and you guys can post pretty much whatever you want. Not political. We're not selling anything. Just sports. That's all it is. So if you guys haven't joined the ice bar, look it up. It's called the ice bar, and it's pretty easy to find. Most times.
I think do we have 2 people saying guess what? I think Chris Bengals is saying guess what too. Are we missing something as we're on the show here?
I don't know. Well, Crown said, I remember you saying this now, no wrapping presents last night because he's.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because I remember Crown said, well, my girlfriend said they're down 14 points. I got to go wrap Christmas presents. So, Merry Christmas, Crown, twice.
That's right, brother.
You didn't have to wrap presents, and the Bengals won. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
All right, Gitlow has joined the show. What's up, Gitlow? Like I said, guys, the video chat is at the top of the chat in YouTube. So if you guys want to join the show via video chat, click on there. Gitlow, be careful. The Jets may take Sulo and trade him for QB Wentz. Why would they? Gitlow, I love you. I do. But why would you trade for a quarterback who's failing in the NFL? I mean, I don't see that happening when you have Justin Fields sitting right there. NFL teams don't do that. They would rather take the nice new shiny toy out of college than try to buff up somebody who hasn't done so hot in the NFL and try to rebuild, which, that has happened. And there's more teams doing that now. But when you had the number 1, number 2 pick, you take the quarterback. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Well, but that's just what they do.
Now that the Eagles are playing Hurts and Wentz is upset and he wants to leave, I can see, whatever teams wanting to get him, and I can see maybe the Eagles wanting to get Sewell, or Sewell, or however you explain or come up with his last name. I'm out of it. The first name I'm completely done with. I'm not. We'll have the FCC or whatever those guys are after us. But yeah, I just don't. I don't see them picking somebody just to trade for Wentz who isn't. Not when you can get somebody that's so much
that's already mentally here saying I'm going to be good. Wentz is doubting himself. When you start losing it here, it's hard to get it back. I mean, you can. That's why Justin Fields is like, I'm Justin Fields. I'm going to come in there. I'm going to ball out. Until the NFL crushes them. I mean, which I'm not saying they will, but I mean that's what's happened to Wentz. And they lose confidence. And once you lose your confidence, it's hard to come back from it. We got a Facebook user here with a question. So do me a favor. You sound like you're new to the show. Go to the YouTube channel Sports with Strawberry Ice. Click subscribe, and then you can comment, and your name will pop up there, and you give me a subscription. And every time I go live, it pops up. Now, all right, talk about 18 playoffs. I'm an OSU fan, but since he deserves to showcase, I'm getting in here late, so maybe you have already talked about it. No, we have not. It's just been all Bengals. We did a lot of UC and Ohio State's last couple days. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I appreciate – I mean, I think a lot of Ohio State fans feel the same way I think a lot of people feel that about the Bearcats around the country, that we deserved a shot. Unlike these Georgia fans who've blown me up on my channel after I do a live show, then they come on. Except for, I'll give it to Georgia Bulldog. He came and was in the chat yesterday, and they say they act like we don't have a shot. We don't even deserve to be on the same field as the Georgia Bulldogs. Like, one guy's like, please explain to me why you think that UC can beat Georgia. I was like, well, because we are ranked 7th. Yeah, why not? We're ranked 7th in the country. We've been ranked higher than you the entire time. We started out at 6, haven't lost a freaking game. So why not? I mean, the Bengals just beat the Squealers. So you can't tell me that the Bearcats don't have a freaking shot to beat you. I'm not saying that the Bearcats are going to crush you. And that's what they think. They say, oh, you think you're going to beat them? I don't know. I hope so. But why the hell would I not believe my team can beat your team? That doesn't make any sense at all. It's called being a fan. So you guys blowing me up saying, we're going to beat you. You have no reason to be there. We play in the SEC. Well, sorry. We play in the ACC and the AAC, and we are our conference is the closest thing to a Power 5 conference that there is to not being one. Our competition is pretty good. I don't care what anybody says. We are the best conference out of the group of 5, in my opinion. And I don't even think in my opinion. I think that's a fact. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, and I actually think you could come back with an argument saying, why is Georgia playing Cincinnati?
Right. Yeah.
We've got an undefeated team and we've got a 2-loss team. So,
yeah, well, I mean, honestly, should be playing Coastal Carolina. They're 2 undefeated teams. If you really want to look at that, why are you guys even there? So
there you go.
Sorry, I had to go on a little rant. Let's try to get back into the chat here. Let's see here. What do you got, Chris? Let's see here. Our Bengals can trade our field goal kicker for the 2021 draft pick.
Yeah. That's Seibert and Stay Puff Randy. We've got to figure out something in the kicking game for sure.
The thing that kills me is Randy, I don't think's a bad kicker. He's got a leg. He makes the 50-yard ones. But the thing is, he's missing the crucial ones, the ones that really count. And I'm not saying we should keep him at all. We need to improve that. When I defend the guys, doesn't mean I think they should keep him. I'm just like, he's not god awful. He can go somewhere else and change his career and be a good kicker. So let's see here. Dallas, what do you got? It's the closest thing to trash. Love you, brother. Georgia has been playing good. It's going to be tough. I didn't say it was good. See, that's what drives me nuts. When I get excited about my Bearcats and I say this stuff, people take it as I think it's going to be an easy win. I am not thinking it's going to be an easy win. I don't know if they're going to win. They might not. I'm hoping we don't get blown out. I'm hoping it's close. So I don't know. But these Georgia fans that come at me and just think we shouldn't be on the same field as them, yeah, I'm going to defend my team. So, I mean, and that's what drives me nuts. People are like, oh, it ain't going to be easy. I never said it was going to be easy. But that's why you play the game. Going undefeated is not easy.
Yep.
Anyway.
And just real quick, if you don't mind, I'd like to say, Eric, you say Fields needs another year. Fields has had a tough year. We played 6 games. He's without 10 starters from last year, or the team is. He didn't have Olave last week. We've had a ton of players mixing and matching, and everything that he did last year is completely different this year. And he's trying to find the way. He's actually the one that's kept us in a lot of these games. So to say he needs another year, I think you're a little bit off there. I think he will go in the first round for sure. Yeah. High first round.
And the thing is, the kid can ball. I mean, did you see what was the game where he had? Did he have a 5 touchdown game earlier this year? A 4 touchdown game. I mean, the game against Northwestern, he did hurt his thumb. He had his thumb wrapped. He hurt it in the game. Right. So they had, and just with this season up and down, you play this week, you don't play this week. You got this guy's out. This many guys out. This guy can't play. He started out. If you look at the beginning of the year, Fields was balling out. Now, he hasn't played as good in the last couple games,
Nope.
but Fields is a bona fide number one pick or number 2 pick.
You're going to be all right. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead with – yeah,
let's see here. Facebook user. Again, go to Sports Strawberry Ice YouTube channel. Click subscribe. Comment on the chat there, and we'll hopefully your name will pop up. All right. I just joined, so I don't know what's been talked about. My one opinion on the Zac Taylor situation is I've been a big-time Zac hater all year. 0 away wins is pretty bad. But, man, the way he gets his guys to continue to compete and get after it, he also did a great job calling plays last night, including the quarterback runs and adding mid-game or runs he added mid-game. He did a great job, in my opinion. Yeah, I think Zac, like I said that, yeah, you just joined the show. Thank you for joining. But that's what I said at the beginning of the show. I mean, I think Zac Taylor coached his ass off last night. That was his best coaching job of his life. And it probably saved his job and I said that before defending Zac Taylor, that I think Zac has done a halfway decent job coaching as far as coaching to the skill of his team. And with the offensive line being in such flux, because I don't think they've had the same starting offensive line more than two games in a row this year. And we haven't been on the run the ball. Now, last night we were able to run the ball, and I really do think that's because we had Spain and Seraphilia in the middle. Now, Spain wasn't even on the team at the beginning of the year. Seraphilia played a half a game and got hurt. So those guys haven't even been in. But to bring in the run play option was awesome last night. And what he did with Joe Burrow to do the 3-step drop, get the ball out of his hands as fast as he can, to me, that was also to protect Joe. It didn't work because he got hurt. But, people get mad because he always going to let, stand back there and throw the ball. But he wasn't standing back there. It wasn't like he was doing a 5-step drop and sitting there waiting. He didn't have time to do that. So Zac always did the 3-step drop. All right, Keith's back. Hopefully you got your TV or your phone or whatever was turned down so we can don't get the feedback.
And Facebook.
Yeah, I think I got it figured out. I had you going on in the background on YouTube.
I got you. Okay.
I just want to say this. Nobody's brought this up. How about Gio?
Yeah.
He played well, very well. I mean,
I just want to say this. And I just
go ahead.
I just don't see the Jets taking Sewell. I mean, maybe that's just being a homer,
right?
But
I don't see it either.
You're going to put your faith in Sam Darnold. Plus, what nobody's bringing up, you're in New York. You got to keep up with the Giants. You got to make the splash pick.
Yep.
If you draft no lineman, that's not a splash pick. And the other thing is, the Jets are known for making some stupid picks. That's what scares me. I could see him maybe talking Eli Manning out of retirement and then drafting a kicker with their first rounder.
Right on.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I just don't see them drafting Sewell. I mean,
I could see him maybe talking Eli
like Darnold, like I said, he hasn't done it in 4 years or whatever. And like you said, they got to keep up with the Giants. The Giants are going to be a good team. They possibly are a playoff team this year. So they got to keep up with them. They got to keep up with the Joneses. It's New York. You got to be the new shiny toy. You got to be, in the news. And
right.
Drafted Sewell would not put them in front page. Drafted Fields would.
Right. Exactly.
I'm just hoping against hope that he falls to us because, I've seen a lot of film on him. He looks like another Munoz.
Oh yeah, from everything that, like I said, I never got to watch him play. He opted out this year, and I never heard of him, to be honest, until people started talking about it on the chat. So I looked it up and I saw film of him and stuff. And dude's a beast. I mean, he looks to me as much of a can't miss prospect as Joe Burrow was last year in the draft.
Well,
and to play devil's advocate on him real quick, you can say he plays in Oregon, Pac-12, not exactly SEC, Big Ten, big fat boys coming. And you see the highlight reel and it looks great. But it's watching every game that I haven't got to be able to do. And he opted out this year. So we really didn't get to see what kind of shape he's in, we don't know. We don't, he has been out all year. So, just playing devil's
advocate. Big boy. He's a big boy.
Exactly. And we don't need another Andre Smith situation where he breaks his toe here. Okay. Yeah. So, but that's just me playing devil's advocate. I do want him. We got to protect Joe Burrow. We got to protect the house, and that is Joe Burrow.
Hey, Jeremy, just back to Andre Smith. Tell me if you agree. You guys agree with me? Was that one of the dumbest moves ever, bringing Andre Smith back to play guard?
Oh, yes. That was
terrible.
I said this months and months and months ago about Andre Smith, about Redmond. They cut Redmond. I say he'll be back. Cincinnati, they let guys go. They sign them. And then, sure enough, they sign Redmond to the practice squad. And I said, he won't be on the practice squad a week. He'll be starting. Mark my words. Boom. There he was, starting the next week. Cincinnati, they love to bring back these guys and think maybe they can refurbish them. You know how you get the refurbished phones or whatever if you send yours back? That's kind of what we've been doing, and we've got to stop that on the offensive line because we've got to keep our future. But
here's the stupidity of that. These are people who supposedly know football.
Right.
Well, if you played high school football, I played high school football, I played college football. If you played on the offensive line, a guard and a tackle are two completely different skill sets. A tackle, you can get by with a big guy if he has decent feet and he's real strong.
Right.
At guard, you have to be nimble. You have to be agile. You're pulling. You're picking up other guys. If there's a blitz or if a guy needs help, there's a lot of congestion. You've got to be able to move without getting knocked over. A tackle, not so tough. It's usually one guy that you have to take care of. And when I heard that, I was like, what idiot came up with this idea?
well, point in case, we could see that exactly what you're saying this year. Fred Johnson is not a guard. He's terrible at guard. He's better at tackle. It's not vice versa. You put Fred Johnson as guard, he's awful. Tackle, he's still ain't great, but he's better at tackle than he is at guard. So yeah, you're a tackle. You're either a tackle, or you're a guard, you're a guard. You don't usually switch them.
Well, it's kind of the skill set is more like big, powerful guy, tackle, quick, nimble guy, good technique, guard or center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the way I look at it is we have 3 to 4 guys on the line now that make it start. And then we have Michael Jordan, those type of players that can sit on the bench and could come in a pinch. Somebody sprains an ankle for a game or whatever, But to bring this same line back without, drafting a lineman or a free agent, there's no way. Yeah, we've got to keep building. We have about a 10-year window here. Well, actually, no, we don't.
Well, we got less than that before you got to pay
to keep
Burrow and to keep the Bengals here, 2026. So
exactly.
You get 2 deadlines.
So yeah, we really got about 5 years to start winning to put butts in the seats, or we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So we have got to create a place for Burrow to come, be comfortable back there, have a little bit of time, a little bit more than 2.8 seconds anyways.
Well, that's why I say he did 3-step drop and bang, get rid of the ball.
Exactly.
That's all the offensive line could give him somewhat consistently. So again, that's where I'm like, I think Zach coached to what his team could do. Like he did last night.
And Keith, you can tell you have played ball, brother. Talking about pulling guards and all. You can tell you've done it, and that's awesome, man. So I love to hear it. Go ahead.
Well, the thing for me that's so frustrating being a Bengal fan, I'm sure for you guys too. This is not rocket science. This is where Mike Brown just makes me so angry. It's not rocket science.
Right.
Look at Denver when they had 3,000-yard rushers 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
All three of them left the following year and did nothing. Why? Because he had a dominant offensive line.
Yep.
Dallas went from shit to a good team.
Yep.
Dominant offensive line. Here's the other thing, and this is right up Mike Brown's alley, and this is why it's so frustrating. What do we know about Mike Brown? He's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You draft a wideout, you might get 3 years out of him. You get a running back, you might get 3 years out of him. You draft an O lineman or a D lineman, if he don't get hurt, that's 10 or 15 years. You're solid in that position.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you save money because guess what? You build that dominant offensive line, you can get away with lesser skill guys. You don't have to have the fastest running back.
Exactly.
Because the holes are bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Same thing on the defensive side. If you got a pass rush, those guys don't have to defend on the back end as long.
Exactly.
You're preaching to the choir. I've been
right.
saying that on multiple shows. I said you build your team from the inside out, from the lines out. You get pressure on the quarterback, it makes the secondary easier.
People would know this.
Yeah, you would think so. But I mean, Mike Brown has done this. He's done this in the 90s. I mean, when we had actually a halfway decent team. You had Jeff Blake, you had Harold Green, running back, you had Carl Pickens, you had Darnay Scott, you had Tony McGee. We had no line. You know? So Jeff Blake's running around, running for his life. You know, he didn't draft. I think Mike Brown, the first time he drafted a first-round offensive lineman was Willie Anderson in 1996.
Yep.
And he hasn't made a good pick since because when Marvin was here, I'm convinced he was making the picks.
Oh, yeah. I'm totally convinced that Marvin was making the picks. Mike Brown, well, I like Carl Pickens was a good pick, but I don't even think he was a first-rounder. I mean, Corey Dillon wasn't a first-rounder. These are ones that Mike Brown got. He got lucky.
Dillon was a third rounder. Dillon was a third rounder. And I told a buddy of mine, I said, man, we just got to steal the draft.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of college ball.
Yep.
And at Washington, he was a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
But anyway.
So Mike Brown got lucky. Sorry, go ahead.
I ain't going to take up a lot more time. I'm going to go back to the chat. But just got two things to say. The highlight of my year was Bell cleaning Juju Smith-Schuster's clock.
Yes.
And I want to change our chant on Steeler Week. It shouldn't be Who Day, Who Day. It should be the yellow and black can lick our sack.
I like that one, Keith. I like that one.
Where were you when I was writing the poem today at work?
Hey, I'm going to start selling the T-shirts, dude.
There you go,
man. Sounds good. All right, Keith, man. Appreciate it.
Later, guys.
Yeah, join the show anytime, brother. Thanks, man. But yeah,
good call.
Lick our sack. I like that one. I like that a lot. Hold on. Chris Bengal had a question up here. You see here, but the real question is, I like your Bengals background. D. How can I get something like that for my apartment? I think he means you there, Jeremy. Jeremy D. He likes your picture of Paul Brown Stadium in the background.
Okay, let's see. But
where'd you get it from? And
just go to Fatheads, man. It's they're not exactly cheap, but if you get the big one, the wall wide one, fatheads.com. I'm not making no money off of it, so
no. But Fatheads, if you'd like to give it, or Gold Star Chili, the two things we've plugged on the show here for free.
Yep.
You guys like to send me any money for the plug? That'd be great.
Hey,
I greatly appreciate
anybody
it.
watching with the companies, whatever.
Yeah, we're here. You can give us some money. We're on every day, 5:30. Sports Strawberry Ice YouTube channel.
That's right.
All right. Shorty D17 said, sorry, guys. The chat's blowing up, and with video chat going on and stuff, sometimes I have a hard time getting to all of it. But, short yardage 17 said, the Bengals are very, very close, very close. A few pieces here and there, and we can build a wild card team next year. No doubt in my mind. I'm with you, and that's with Zac Taylor as the coach, I think. Now, to me, there's something has to change, though. I still have a hard time coming back with the same coaching staff, and I've been on Armadillo all year, And I have to give it to him. His defense showed up last night and played good. They scared me. And the last couple drives, because I'm sitting watching the game with my son, I'm going, look, they're backing off of them again. And the weirdest thing that I saw is if you watch the cornerbacks, one cornerback was up on him. The other one was backing off. And this is the play that Hunt knocked the ball down. I think it was Juju cut across the middle. It could have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
Because
it would have been.
I don't remember. I don't know if it was Phillips or Willie J3 or who was the cornerback, but he backed off of him. And I'm like, get up on him because it's short yardage. Why are you backing up? Thank God Hunt knocked it down because that might have been a touchdown, and that could have changed a whole lot of stuff. So that's where I was. I don't know. I think they were confused. I don't know if they were supposed to be up or back. One cornerback was up, one was back. So I still don't think Armadillo's a very good defense coordinator, but I will give him. I gotta give him props when they play good. I mean, they did. They played good enough to win. And Carl Lawson and Hubbard made plays. I think Ben got hit 9 times last night. 9 times. I'm pretty sure that's. I could be a little off on that, but they hit him, and they sacked him at least once or twice. Those are the things we've been talking about that this defense needs to do in general to be a winning team.
Yeah, even guys off the street that were on the line last night, like Covington and Xavier Williams. Those guys were studs holding the running game back. Now, I know James Conner didn't play, and a lot of people said they didn't think they would need him against the Bengals, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, whatever. But one player ain't going to change. If James Conner was in there or if Eddie George was in there in his prime, it wouldn't have mattered last night. The
Steelers can't – and the Steelers can't run the ball. They can't. They haven't been able to run the ball all year. I mean, and I'm not trying to say anything about the Bengals, but normally, a team can't run the ball all year, and then they come in Cincinnati and they run all over us. But that didn't happen last night. Right. All right, Nathan. If we don't secure the number 3 pick, who should we take? I'm thinking either Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts, or Kylie Payne.
I like the first 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I would.
If we had to,
yeah. I really, my heart is set on Sewell. If we get him, you're getting a bona fide, legit left tackle. It would crush me if the Jets take him. I don't think they will, and who knows? Maybe the Jets will win another game, and that's the other thing I want to get into, Jeremy. It's like the Bengals came off this, they're on this big win. And it was kind of, if you can't get up for Monday Night Football, and you can't get up to play the Squealers, what game can you get up for? Now, coming off of that short week, going to Houston and playing a very beatable Houston team with Finley or Brandon Allen, whoever the quarterback is, we still can beat them. They're a very beatable team.
Yeah, they are. And
my fandom, I want them to win.
Yeah.
But also my fandom is I'm okay if they lose because I want that 3rd pick. And I hate that. Because I want them to win.
Tough.
And I know they're going to do everything they can to win. But we could lose because if Houston has the 3rd pick, they could take Sewell. But if Chase is still there, not Chase Young, I always mess his name up.
Jamar.
LSU. Jamar Chase. If he's there, there's a chance Houston could take him to replace Hopkins because of that stupid trade they did earlier this year. I don't know. What do you think, Jeremy?
Lost Bill O'Brien his job, by the way, too.
Well, he's the one that traded him. That was dumb.
Yeah, if we end up winning and we jump out of that spot, we could always go to free agency for a couple very good. If we do free agency like we did last year, but do it the right way and bring in some serious offensive linemen, then you could take a luxury pick, I guess, and you could go with Kyle Pitts out of Florida. I mean, that kid is insane. I've watched him play in about 6 games this year. And
is he the tight end?
Yeah, he's the tight end.
Dude, yes.
Receiver, but he can do both. He would be a good pick.
Yes.
But I I love Chase too, Jamar
Yeah.
Chase, because he was with Burrow and he's got that timing down to where Burrow can throw that back shoulder pass all day long to Chase, and it's just bang, bang, bang. I mean, so
because the thing is, those guys are worth taking with the fourth pick or the third pick, whichever one, if we don't get Sewell. The Bengals need an offensive line. So my question is, because the next offensive lineman isn't rated that high to be drafted that high. You could drop down lower to get him. So if say the Jets take Sewell, like Griff says, I don't think they're going to, but just say he does, and we're stuck with the third pick, what if we trade down? Because tight end would be great. Another wide receiver would be great, but what this team needs is a solid tackle, left or right tackle. We need a solid tackle. And so what if you drop back down, get some more picks, and get the tackle that way? I mean, everybody would love to get the wide receiver, the tight end. That would be awesome. But just like Keith said, you get a great offensive line, that makes everybody else great. I mean, that makes everybody else a lot easier. It changes the whole thing.
Yep.
You spend your money on that offensive defensive line, you don't have to spend as much money on the rest of it. You spend if you run an NFL team, these are the positions you spend your money on. Offensive, defensive line, and quarterback. You get those three positions set, you could go to 6 Super Bowls and win them like some guy named Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That's all they did. They made sure he had an offensive line and a defensive line, and they had one of the best quarterbacks ever.
Right.
That's the formula to win, which I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel. I don't know why other teams and Mike Brown doesn't figure that out. And I'm with Keith. It drives me nuts that I can figure it out. And you can see what the Patriots did for 20 freaking years.
Yeah.
But you got to have that quarterback. You see, they got Cam Newton. They don't got the quarterback anymore. So we got the quarterback, get the lines fixed, and who knows what can happen.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, we fix our offensive line. We get more defensive pass rushers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Trey Waynes, Bell, Jesse Bates, WJ3, and Phillips as the number 3 any day of the week if we're getting a pass rush on a quarterback. They showed you last night what they can do with a decent – we had a decent pass rush last night. I wouldn't say it was – we weren't just dominating them every single play, but, Carl Lawson was getting in there. Bynes was playing great, stopping the run. And I like our linebackers. I like Bynes. Logan Wilson didn't even play last night, guys, and he's been one of our best linebackers all year.
Yeah.
So, I look at our two lines, offense and defense. I say you fix that. We get Burrow back healthy. Who's going to – I can see us winning a lot of games. Right.
Keith's got another comment here. What would really piss me off? If we miss out on Sewell because of the freaking tie. Yes, yeah. That tie is screwing us because that's the reason. If that's a loss, Houston doesn't jump us.
Yeah, we're at 3.5 wins right now. That's the way they look at it. So
right. The tie goes more toward a win than it does a loss.
Yep.
When it comes to your record
every time.
So that's why Houston would jump us. So it's. Like I said when on the show after the tie is like kissing your sister. Who the hell wants to do that? Oh my goodness! All right, let's see here. Chris Bagel, do me a favor, Ice and D. Say a prayer for 2026. We'll show why to keep the Cincinnati Bengals. I live in Georgia and I love my Bengals. 2026 is when the stadium contract expires, and all true Bengal fans don't want them to leave. I mean, the thing is, it's rough being a Bengals fan. It is, but we're not the only ones. I mean, I've said, and I always compare us to Detroit. Detroit Lions suck. They are a horribly run team. They've never been good. I mean, except for when Barry Sanders was there. Other than that, when was the last time they were any good? I mean, really consistently. The Bengals have been a way better run team compared to them. I mean, Dallas Cowboy fans, a lot of them want Jerry Jones to sell the team. When's the last time Dallas has won anything? I mean, everybody thinks we have the worst owner in football. There's a lot of bad owners. Just because you're a billionaire doesn't mean you know how to run a professional football team. Just because your dad was one of the greatest Hall of Fame coaches in professional football doesn't mean you know how to run a football team. But it is what it is. This is who we have. You can't pick and choose most of the time what city you grew up in. This is your team. This is your team. So we need to do what we can to keep the Bengals. And I know everybody's going to hate it. Means we got to pay more taxes. But I don't even think it's going to be that much. From what I understand, they don't want a new stadium. They just want this stadium to be maintained and upgraded a little bit, you know?
And add to the lease. That's, you know.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. So
yep.
I want to keep them because if we lose the Bengals, we're not getting another NFL team. Look at St. Louis. They're never getting another team. They got two of them, which that surprises me, but they're not getting another one back. I don't think. So
same here.
Who's number? Carl wants to know who's number 21 for the Bengals. That's Mackenzie Alexander.
Mackenzie Alexander. Yep.
Yeah.
He played lights out last night too.
Oh, all of them played lights out.
Yeah.
Lions were good in 1952. Cripps says. So anyway, so what else you got, Jeremy? Got anything else you want to talk about your Buckeyes or anything like that, or?
You know what? We've got a couple weeks to the Buckeyes. There's still a lot of things that are uncertain. So, you know, as we get closer, oh yeah. But as of now, we're just still sitting around waiting on seeing who might be able to play, who can't play, who will play. And it's still, I've got zero information. Ryan Day's not coming out with nothing right now. So it's still pretty much just Buckeyes versus Clemson, and we'll see how it goes. But hopefully we'll get some of these players back. And as you guys watch, any Buckeye fans that are watching, I know Dallas and a few of the other ones, as soon as we find out who's actually going to be able to come back and play with us and practice rather than sitting at their home for 17 days instead of 21 days.
Yeah. And
jumping on to the bus and going and playing a game against what looked to be the best team in the country Saturday. That's about all I got right now.
All right. Coleman friend, Ice and D, be real. What's the chances we trade AJ to pick up a new offensive line? Use the draft to fix the problems for a future coach. There is absolutely no chance that anybody's giving us an offensive lineman or a draft pick for AJ Green.
Not anything.
To be real, there's no chance. That's AJ Green is just he's going to go. Either he's going to sign a team-friendly contract and come back and hope to finish his career out with the Bengals, or he is going to, as the great Paul Brown would say, move on to his life's work. But yeah, Chris.
His last year.
What's up, Chris?
Up to AJ. What's up, Chris?
Keith, got some more here. Let's see here. No matter what, we have opinions with our first pick. If Sewell is drafted before we pick because we have a few needs, I just wonder if we pass on Jamar Chase, if Burrow won't be pissed. You're saying that if pass on Jamar if Sewell is not there? Because I think Burrow will be pissed if we don't draft Sewell.
Yeah. His body will be.
Yeah. I don't know if he'd be – I'm sure he would like to have his boy on a team, you know, but I don't see Joe Burrow as a guy saying, draft my friends. Because I mean, not that Chase doesn't – me. Yeah. Chase is very worthy of the third pick overall. Trust me, he's a very, very good wide receiver. I just don't see Burrow doing that. I think he's more of a team guy and more what's best for the team. You know, and what's best for the team is trying to get an offensive line. And if we don't get Sewell, trade down and get as many picks as you can and try to get the second best offensive lineman, I think. So, here's another Ohio State fan for you. It's Anthony. The big change in the protocol to 17 days instead of 21. Oh, yeah. That was huge. I mean, that helped out the Buckeyes a ton. You get to practice, maybe one more day?
Yeah. I don't think it's even going to matter. I think the guys that are out are still going to be out. So, Is what it is.
Yeah. That's and I mean I'm a Buckeyes fan, but I'm not very confident at all. The way Clemson played, they to me, Clemson. If Clemson plays like they did against Notre Dame, I don't know if anybody can beat them. That includes Alabama. All right, Christopher, what's up? Or what about Finley smiling the whole time we smashed them squealers? Who they think would beat the Bengals? That was awesome. That's
right.
That picture. He's laying on the ground, got his big ass smile on his face, going, I'm getting my ass kicked, but I'm having so much fun beating the squealers.
Hopefully somebody's seeing me out here. Back down to the practice squad next year, Finley.
Right. Yeah. Oh, okay. I know the Pro Bowl starters are coming out. I did not see this. Jesse Bates didn't make the Pro Bowl. Really? Oh, that's a crock of crap. Seriously?
Welcome to Cincinnati.
Yeah. I mean, Jesse Bates, in my mind, has been one of, if not the best safety in football. I mean, our defense moving forward, our identity is Von Bell and Jesse Bates. That's our identity moving forward. Those two are going to be the leaders of our defense, and I think they showed it last night. And that's complete BS that Jesse Bates did not make the Pro Bowl. But again, listen to, like Keith even said it. I think he's the one that said it, or Robert said it, I can't remember. But the Monday Night Football announcers last night were making excuse after excuse after excuse of why the Steelers are playing like this and how in the world are the Bengals beating the Squealers. We beat them pretty decisively too. I mean, we were winning 17-0 at halftime. It was a pretty decisive win. It's not like
we were the better team.
We were the better team the entire game. But if you watch the announcers, they had nothing but I guarantee all their notes, they thought it was going to be a blowout. Yep. They thought it was going to be a complete blowout. And they got a whole bunch of Steelers notes, especially for the second half. Because, you know, if it's a blowout, second half, you don't talk about the game. You talk about the game, but it's not like, oh, look at that play. And this happened, because it's over. It wasn't over. Well, it was over for the Steelers.
Yep.
Because the Bengals won. But that's just the bias. The national media has this image of the Bengals, and it was starting to change when we went on our 5-year playoff run. If we had won a damn playoff game, it would have completely changed. But since then to now, we went there. They're treating us like we're the 90s Bengals, which, I mean, we haven't been that good. But it's so easy to fall back into that. And that's one thing that drives me nuts about Bengals fans too. Like, oh, we're terrible. Oh, this, like, last night we're on the show. We're celebrating. We're like, yes, we won. It's awesome. This is great. And still make a comment on the chat. Well, just remember, we still have the worst owner in football. Like, really? I mean, that's where you're at. I mean, just be happy with the win. Be proud of your team. Be optimistic. Dude, I'm telling you, they get Sewell. You bring Joe Burrow back, and we don't have 25,000 injuries like we did this year, we got a very good shot at being a playoff team. We do. I'm not saying we're going to be, because it's going to be really hard, because the Browns, Clowns, Ratbirds, and Squealers are all really good teams. I still think it's the hardest team in football, or hardest division in football to win. But you get Sewell, Joe Burrow back beginning of the year, we got a shot. We got as good a shot as anybody.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I mean, the guys last night didn't know what else to talk about because, like you said,
right.
They obviously weren't ready for the game. They weren't ready for Cincinnati to play.
They weren't ready for Cincinnati to win it or even be in it.
And nobody wanted Cincinnati to win that game last night. I think they did a little national thing before the game. Did you see that? I think it was like 70% to 30 nationwide, and the 30% was probably Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky.
Right, exactly.
So, nobody expected us to win, but we didn't just win. We beat the brakes off them boys.
Yeah, we dominated them. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, the Squealers were really never in the game. I mean, they turned the ball over 4 times. Our defense played really well. Our offense played good enough to win. We scored 25 points. That's the most points we scored in 5 games ever since Joe Burrow went out. So they didn't know what to do, and they can't go, wow, maybe we should give some props to the Bengals. No, it's the Bengals. We can't do that. Come on. It's the Steelers. There's something wrong with the Steelers. That's the reason it's happening. It's not that the Bengals played better and beat them.
Any other game, they bring them up after the game, put them around the stage with everybody else, ask him.
Yeah, and all I heard at the end of the game is, let's go to Mike Tomlin's press conference.
Yep.
Screw Mike Tomlin. What about Zac Taylor? He's the one that won.
Yeah.
The first one you go to is Mike Tomlin? Come on.
Exactly.
All right, Christopher, what do y'all feel about picking up AJ Veer Tucker, an offensive guard from USC? I feel great about it if they can get him. What do you think?
I don't know him that well, but if we're talking about like with the 4th pick overall, not a guard. Not if we're talking 4th pick overall or 3rd pick overall, no. Because guards are there 2nd and even 3rd round.
Yeah. Tackles and centers are 1st round picks. Guards are 2nd, 3rd round picks.
Yep.
But I mean, if he's good, honestly, I saw the only USC game I saw was the championship game, which was Oregon and USC, and USC did not look good at all. So, yes, Anthony, I know the Bearcats lost again. I don't know what the hell is going on. The basketball team.
Oh no, you're kidding.
Nope, they lost 70-75.
Oh man.
Yeah, this basketball season could not have started out any worse. I think we have 2 wins. I mean, I know we got 7 freshmen, but I had the game on in the background here with the sound off so I could watch it. And it's not the way I thought this season would go. The Bearcats are digging themselves a huge hole to try to get out of. I mean, I know Kentucky fans are like, oh, we're not going to make the tournament. Well, you're Kentucky still. I mean, I know Cincinnati is known for basketball and stuff, but we're still not Kentucky. I don't think they're keeping Kentucky out unless you guys only have like 2 wins all year. The Bearcats, Brandon's got to figure something out. The defense is terrible. We can't rebound the ball. Our shooting was not there tonight.
Yeah,
we shot. It wasn't there in Georgia. We shot the ball really good in Tennessee. I don't know. I don't have an answer for it. It's very frustrating to watch them right now. So that's very, very disappointing for me as a Bearcat fan. Yep. Robert, I forgot to say what I was on when I was on the show. That was the first time since 1990 we shut the Squealers out in the first half. Oh wow, that's good stat. I did not know that one.
Yep.
Let's see here, Coleman. I don't think Burrow back and Sewell fixes the problems. We have to address the black sheep. Zac Taylor consistently forgets that if he would have benched Burrow, he wouldn't have been hurt. Well, what does that have to do? But Burrow wouldn't have played, that's stupid. You can't play scared. You can't coach scared. You can't play scared. That's stupid. I'm sorry. I've had other people say, well, we just would have benched him.
Yeah.
For what? It would hurt his development. What was the point? There was no reason to bench Joe Burrow. I mean, yes, the offensive line was terrible, but there's been lots of quarterbacks who have played with terrible offensive lines.
Well, and you also want to have your rookie quarterback get some experience in as well, and by God, if Burrow didn't figure out quickly about the NFL this year and still balled out,
tore it up
behind our horrible line, there were still 8 games, 7 games to go, 6 games to go when Burrow got hurt, something like.
Yeah, so, I think it was week 11. Yeah.
Okay, so 5, 6 games, whatever. Maybe at that point you do, but I still think you still play him, and then maybe the last couple of games then maybe we would have benched him. But
yeah, I mean, that to me, like I said, you don't play this. You play this game scared, you're going to get hurt. You coach this game scared, you're not going to win. You can't do that. They should have fixed the offensive line. I agree with you. That was stupid that they didn't. But blaming Zac Taylor for Joe Burrow getting hurt is dumb. I'm sorry, in my opinion, because quarterbacks get hurt. I mean, Dak Prescott got hurt this year for the end of the year. Alex Smith a couple years ago broke his freaking leg. I mean, it happens. It's called football. How many Bengal players have gotten hurt? I mean, the list is as long as my arm.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's not a reason to fire. You know what? I'm going to fire you because you got our quarterback hurt. Zac Taylor's not the one out there playing, you know? He's not there coaching, but he's not the one playing. He had his decision to start him, but everybody would have started him.
Yeah.
Everybody. There's not, I don't think there's one coach that was on this team that would have said, no, you know what? Joe Burrow, I think we should let him sit. Just because we're scared to get hurt. I mean, that's just, you don't play that way. You don't coach that way. Sorry.
Yeah. I agree with you. Actually, for once in a while, you know, I mean, it was a football play.
Yeah.
Zac Taylor's not out on the field. You know, so it was a football play. It happened, and it's something we got to live with. We got to move on, and we got to be ready for when he comes back for him to have a house built for Burrow.
Exactly. All right, Christopher. Russell Wilson plays with a terrible line, not as terrible as our line, but makes it happen regardless. Finley showed confidence last night and played without fear. That's why they were successful. Yeah. And that's the thing. If you're playing this game, you can't play scared. You're not going to be successful at it at all. You can't coach scared. You can't play scared. You can't do that. Anything in life, you can't do scared. If you're scared to do something, you're going to suck at it. You ain't got confidence in yourself to do it. You're going to suck at it.
Yep.
You think it's easy getting on here and talking in front of a whole bunch of people. We don't even know who the hell you are and commenting on here. You don't think that's scary sometimes? I mean, come on. You got to be confident in what you're doing.
Yep.
Just saying, just in life in general. There's my words of wisdom by the Iceman.
There you go. Right there you heard it.
All right, brother. I think it's almost 7 o'clock. We got to get your poem. So let's get the poem and let's roll on out of here.
All right. You going to do the show deal or you want to do it after?
Yeah, let me do that right now. Yeah, let's do this first, then we'll do the poem.
All right.
All right. Got Facebook groups that we help run and invite you guys to join. They are Bengals Nation, Bearcats Country, Reds Country, and Cyclones Country. And the new group that we are a part of, we don't run it, but we are a part of it. It's called Ohio State Bucknuts. I think we're on there live streaming. I'm not sure. Hopefully Kip put us up there. Later on today, I'll be pulling a sound off, 5-star review, podcast, Podbean, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. I'm on there. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and you can also comment on the YouTube channel after the show if you want to, like a lot of Georgia fans did. And like I said, it's awesome. We are up to 774 subscribers. That is awesome. I appreciate every single one of you guys. This has been a lot of work for me that I've done the last 2 years. I'm getting close to my 2-year anniversary. It's sometime in January. I don't exactly remember what the date is, but to go from 0 people paying attention to what I have to say to 774 is unbelievable. And to the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Jeremy D.
That's true. That's I feel the same way. You know what? It's been a while since we won, so it's been a while. I'm a little rusty on the poems. I got to thinking today.
What's up?
You know, for all our viewers, it's Christmas. You know?
Yeah.
It's a time for love and cheer.
Yes.
Even if you're a Pittsburgh fan or even if you're a Pittsburgh Steeler, it's Christmas time. So this poem may not be as brash and as angry and as hateful as y'all may like, but it's a Christmas poem. You know?
Peace, love, joy, people. Peace, love, joy.
Exactly. It starts out like this. Well, Bengal fans, it's the season of love and cheer. By the way, Steeler fans, I hope last night ruined your damn Christmas and your damn New Year. Now on to Juju. You can't say you weren't told. Bell warned you last week, then knocked your ass out cold.
Boom, baby! Woo!
So I hope you learned your lesson, not to dance in the jungle. Or next year you'll find yourself in the same place. Knock the hell out and fumble! to you, Big Ben.
Dork.
All washed up and throwing picks. It's almost as embarrassing as getting caught with your pants down at a Motel 6. So all Bengal fans, enjoy your Christmas as you open up your gifts around the tree, and always to remember to be thankful. You don't live in Pittsburgh, you live in Cincinnati.
Woo! That's right.
This is the show.
Yeah. And as always, Hooday. And that's just sports, baby. And Squealers suck. See ya!